Record should reflect the presence of Mr. Chrisman, counsel, and the jurors. Mr. Merritt, you may call your next witness.
We call Sergeant Julia Gia.
It's Julie. Last name is Gia. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do.
State your name, please.
Julie Egea, last name is Egea.
By whom are you employed?
The City of Phoenix.
In what capacity?
I am Sergeant for the Professional Standards Bureau.
How long have you... you're a police officer.
Yes, sir.
When did you become a police officer?
I was sworn in January of 1996.
So that means you've been an officer about 17 years?
Yes, almost 18.
And you hold the rank of?
Sergeant.
Sergeant Egea, did you have an occasion on October 5th, 2010 to go to 303 East South Mountain Avenue, the Casa de Francisco trailer park?
Yes, I did.
Do you know about what time you arrived there?
It was early afternoon.
And at that time, you were working for the, obviously, City of Phoenix as a police officer, and what was your occupation or your department at that time?
I was with the Professional Standards Bureau.
All right. And I'm sorry, I think I asked you this, but what time about did you get there?
It was early afternoon.
1:30, somewhere in that area?
Maybe around 1.
Okay. And this, the occasion for your going to that area and that address was an officer-involved shooting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me show you Exhibit 9 in evidence. Do you recognize that scene?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize anybody in that picture?
I recognize myself. I'm in a light blue shirt. I have my hand up by my head. And in front of me is Detective Kenny Porter. And I believe the other individual on the phone might be Dave Faulkner, but I'm not sure.
At about this time, after you had arrived, did you have an occasion to go to the front porch of Trailer 51?
Yes, I did.
Can you recognize where that is in this photograph, approximately?
It would be to the west of where I'm standing.
So if you walked forward, what would happen?
I would walk right into the, where the front door, where the front entryway to the trailer is.
And when you did that, was this before the storm, before the rain?
I did it both. I did it before and after.
Okay, I want to talk to you just about before the storm. So you did it before the storm?
Yes, I did.
And were you with anybody when you walked up there?
I don't remember if I was with Tad Klein or not, my partner.
Let me show you what's in evidence is Exhibit 26. This is a photograph that was taken after the storm. We don't have one of this area before. Can you tell us what you saw when you walked up there before the storm in relation to what's in this photograph?
It was similar to this photograph. The taser was there just outside the doorway. I remember the notepad. I believe there was a victim's rights pamphlet also. I remember a flashlight that was in an evidence bag. And then there were some aphids just to the west of the taser.
Where can you, I don't know, can you kind of, could she step to the big screen you're on? Could
Yes,
you
well, she can touch the TV.
Oh, can you touch the TV and show us where the aphids were?
I remember them in like this area right here.
Between, off the mat a little bit in that area and where the mat ends and kind of this direction from the broom?
It would be to the left side of the board.
Okay.
so to the west side of the mat.
You know what aphids are then?
Yes, I do.
What are they?
It's like a graffiti-like substance that is deployed when a taser is deployed, and it identifies the cartridge that was expended so that you can identify, they got little numbers on them, and it can identify who deployed that taser.
So if those aphids, was it your job at all to collect evidence at this scene?
No, it's not.
Okay. So if someone had collected some of those aphids that you saw there on October 5th, 2010, in the afternoon before the storm, they would know from whose taser cartridge they came?
Yes, they should.
And that's the reason taser does that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Sergeant. I have nothing further.
Mr. Martinez?
Ma'am, you and I had a conversation back on August 28th of 2013, correct? Which is, I don't know, about a week or so ago, correct? And the conversation that we had took place at the, could we remove that from the screen, please? The conversation that we had, there was a court reporter, right?
Yes.
And she was taking down everything that you said, correct?
Yes.
And ma'am, during that conversation, you were less than truthful with me, weren't you?
That's not correct.
Well, do you remember that we discussed your disciplinary record?
Objection, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a legal issue to be raised. If we can have you step out, I'll take care of the legal issue. Let's settle in. Please be seated. Mr. Martinez, this is your proposing this evidence. Could you proffer what you're trying to do?
To show that she lied to me, specifically, and to show that she lied because she's biased. Specifically, she indicated that one of the, and I'm not interested in the discipline per se, but it's that she wasn't truthful about the discipline, irrespective of what it was. But she indicated, page 53 of the deposition, that she was at a gang seminar, and then she said that at line 24, I arrived late and I left early, and that was the reason for the problem. And then I asked her, and
I'm out, Mr. Martinez. You have me thrown into the middle of a book here. Well, what's the disciplinary finding?
the disciplinary finding was more than what she told me. She said that she came and she
I
left.
don't know what she told you.
Pardon?
I don't know what she told you. I was not present at the interview. I have not ever looked at Sergeant Agia's file, if there is such one. You had asked whether she's been disciplined, and there was an objection. I don't know. In order to make my ruling, I need to know some underlying facts. What was Sergeant Agia disciplined for?
She was disciplined for signing her husband in when he did not attend a seminar.
Okay,
Signed him in and out. Specifically, completed the attendance roster for her husband, Officer Agia, 5385, on days that he did not attend, and she did not disclose that to me.
Okay. Did the police agency make a specific finding?
Yes, they did make that specific finding. It was sustained.
All right.
And if you want, I can mark that.
Mr. Merritt.
Your Honor, if he could read the question and answers he thinks where this happened, I think you would see that that's not correct at all. I can do that. He said there was a gang seminar. She said he was going through her discipline, and he asked her several questions, and she answered each one of them. Page 53. Well, let's start at the top. Any other discipline? Answer, yep. Okay. Answer, I got a written for leaving a seminar early and coming in late. Question, describe that for me. What is it? Did you also receive NOI? Answer, NOI. Question, yes. Tell me about that. Answer, yes, I did. This was probably maybe in 2000 or 1999, around there. Question, okay. And was it still Sergeant Renteria or was it somebody else? Answer, no. It was under Sergeant Kendall Moreland at the time. Question, all right. Answer, and it was a gang seminar. And we had some child care issues and I was carpooling. Question, all right. Answer, and I arrived late and I left early. Question, any? And that's all with that one. That's it with that one? Answer, yeah, that's it. Any other ones? Answer, for some reason I think there's one more, but it was like prior to everything and I don't remember it. Question, okay. I understand that there may be another one. Answer, yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't have anything else. That was the discussion. I don't...
When was the date of the finding by the police board?
May 7th, 2003.
Under 609, there's a 10-year rule. I know it doesn't necessarily apply to, well, for felonies, it's 10 years. Why do you think it's relevant?
Because she lied to me. She wasn't completely truthful, and that goes to her bias. I'm not saying that this is a prior felony conviction or anything. What I'm saying is that this is a statement. I think it's Rule 608. I don't have it in front of me, but it's A or B. But it's a specific statement that she made that was untruthful. She did not tell me about the fact that she completed the attendance roster for her husband on days that he did not attend. That was the, if we're going to categorize what the offense was, that was the problem, because she was signing somebody in when she shouldn't have. And she only told me about the fact that she came in late and left early. If that would have been all that was found, I wouldn't have asked her about it. But I'm entitled to ask her about specific instances where she was untruthful. To me, anyway.
In May of 2003, the police board made some finding against Sergeant Agia for being untruthful. Do they have a fact statement,
Yes, they do.
basis for that?
Yes, they do.
What's the factual basis?
I can read it to you. It's very long. You can take a look at it.
I'm trying to understand your argument, and I don't know the facts. So I need to have some factual predicate for your presentation.
All right, I'll go ahead and read it.
The objection.
During the week of March 17th, 2003, DPS had a gang seminar. They called it Get 'em. And the training was held Monday, March 17th, 2003, through Friday, March 21st, 2003, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The seminar was attended by officers from several different law enforcement agencies, including this witness and the other officer, Agia, who is her husband. On Tuesday, March 18, 2003, Sergeant Kendall Moreland, which is somebody that she mentioned, of the OCB Gang Enforcement Unit, attempted to contact Detective Julie Spears, who has since changed her name to Agia, to advise her that he had a subpoena for her to attend court on Friday, March 21. When she did not return his pages, he called Detective Mark Schweikert, who was also attending the seminar. Sergeant Moreland asked Detective Schweikert to tell Detective Spears that she needed to call him reference the subpoena. Detective Schweikert informed Sergeant Moreland that they were on a break and he did not know where she was at the time. Sergeant Moreland then drove to the seminar to hand deliver the subpoena to this sergeant here, Spears, when he discovered that she was not at the seminar as she should have been. Sergeant Moreland contacted DPS Detective Charlie Reese,
Didn't ask, no.
one of the seminar facilitators, and asked to see the attendance roster for that day. Sergeant Moreland observed that Detective Spears and her spouse, Officer Rafael Egea, 5385, were signed in for Tuesday afternoon session, but not in attendance. Shortly after arriving at the seminar, Sergeant Moreland received a phone call from Officer Egea asking him if was, I'm just reading what it says, looking for his wife, Detective Spears. He said he had heard her pager activation, and upon silencing it, noticed that the message was from Sergeant Moreland. Officer Egea advised Sergeant Moreland that he would call his wife and have her call him. Minutes later, Detective Spears called Sergeant Moreland and advised her that he had a subpoena for her. She told him that she had spoken to the assistant county attorney assigned to the case and was aware of the court appearance. During the phone call with both Detective Spears and Officer Egea, Sergeant Moreland did not question them about their whereabouts and limited his conversation with Detective Spears to the pending court appearance. After conducting background search on March 25th, 2003, and I can read the previous paragraph, but it doesn't apply, investigators from the Professional Standards Bureau were asked to assume the investigation. PSB investigators discovered that Detective Spears arrived late to the seminar by at least half an hour and up to an hour from Tuesday, March 18th.
Mr. Martinez, I'm sorry. I have seen these files. I thought the findings section was like a paragraph.
Oh, all right. I can read that. I can read that then. I thought you wanted something else.
I can give you my copy of the findings.
I'll be happy to look at anything anybody gives me.
Page, I have yellowed some of it, but I think that's...
The investigative results are on page 20, starting on the bottom of page 20 involving the findings, and they go over to page 21.
I think the findings are also basically on the first page.
But I think he wanted the factual things. But
And I think he asked her questions, she answered them, he just didn't ask enough questions. Because the findings include what she told him about. There were other things.
Okay. Now, for now, Mr. Martinez, you are not seeking to impeach Sergeant Egea under 608 with this 2003 finding.
no, I'm only asking her about whether or not she was untruthful to me by failing to include this.
Okay. And then, now I have some factual predicate. Let's tell me what the questions were and answers were that you got in your interview.
I understand. Any other discipline? Answer, yep. Question, okay. Answer. I got it written from the...
Now, back up, because she's talking about she's admitted to some discipline. That was different than this one.
No, that's what she's talking about.
Could you back it up to paragraph?
You want to know about the other discipline that she's talking about?
No. The transcript that you're reading to me makes me think I'm checking in on page 7 of the book. Could you just back it up a little bit so I have some context?
All right, I'll start at page 52.
Well, I'd be happy to read it if you want me to.
It's probably quicker if you read it. I will give you...
Happy to read it then. We'll mark all these things later. I didn't want to take people's copies, but if I can look at...
I'll give you the whole section where we discuss her discipline.
All right?
Starts at the beginning of the middle of page 50. And it continues on through the top of page 54.
All right. Reading page 53. I got a written for leaving a seminar early and coming in late. What was sustained is the allegation that while attending a seminar, Sergeant Agia left early on 2 different days and arrived late on 2 different days. What material difference is her answer to the finding?
Well, if you read further on, it also says in the finding that says she also completed the attendance roster for her husband, Officer Agia, on days that he did not attend. That's actually a lie. And I believe I should be able to ask her about that. If you take a look at allegation number 1 that was sustained, it is beyond what she told me.
It's in addition to.
Then you follow up with, and your question, any, and all, that's all that with that one? That's it with that one? Yes, that's it. Any other ones? And then the answer, for some reason, I think there's one more, but it was like prior to everything and I don't remember it.
And she's talking about some other event other than the one that occurred in March. Because she does say specifically, I asked her on the bottom of page 53, top of page 54, any, and that's all that with that one, which is this incident involving this discipline. And she said, yep, that's it.
Well, I'm looking at allegation 4, where the allegation was, oh, that's a different officer.
Right. She's only in allegation number 1.
All right. So this is not for 608, 609 purposes. This is for bias purposes. How does it show her bias?
Correct.
That she did not mention the second half of the allegation?
Right.
That wasn't intended to be a rhetorical question.
Yes, that is part of the reason why I'm requesting that I be allowed to ask it. Because she is biased and was not entirely forthcoming with the state.
Because she didn't remember half of the allegation that was made against her 10 years before.
Because she didn't tell me about it. That is correct. She could have said, I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but she didn't say that. She said that was it. She said that she remembered. That's a difference there.
Objection is sustained. I don't know, anything else before the jurors come back?
If he has anything other than that, I'm sorry, if he has any other things like that, I'd like to know about them now before they get published to the jury and the bell can't be unrung.
Anything else for now, Mr. Martinez?
No.
We'll bring the jurors back. Seated record should reflect the return of the jurors.
You were out at the scene on October 5th of 2010, correct?
That's correct.
You were the so-called case agent for the TSB investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's the internal affairs investigation, correct?
Yes,
But you only served in that position as the case agent for about a couple of months, correct?
that's correct.
You were removed as the case agent approximately December of 2010, right?
Approximately, I don't know the exact date.
You were not allowed to finish up the investigation in this case, right?
Somebody else wrote the report, correct?
I'm not asking you if somebody else wrote the report. Do you remember that we had a conversation about this and you told me that you were removed from this case?
Yes, I did.
And you were removed from this case in December 2010, right?
I stated I did not know the exact date. It might have been December. I don't know for sure.
You were removed from this case by the Phoenix Police Department, correct?
Yes, I was.
Ma'am, isn't it true that you have expressed a bias in favor of Richard Chrisman?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. If witness can answer, she may.
Yes or no?
I have expressed opinion to my coworkers about the case.
Isn't it true that at some point you've even apologized to Richard Chrisman about this case?
Not about the case, no.
You've told him, I'm sorry. Haven't you told him that?
Not in regards to the case.
But you have told him, I'm sorry, correct?
That is correct.
One of the other things, ma'am, that you told us was that when you went out there on October 5th of 2010, you were one of the people that was out there standing before the storm hit.
Yes.
And one of the things that we also know is that you went up to the door, the front door, before the storm hit, right?
Correct.
Who were you with?
I don't remember.
Do you remember that we had a conversation about this just recently on August 28th? You remember?
Yes.
And you told me who you were with. Do you remember?
I don't remember at this time.
Well, let me go ahead and mark this. Let's see if this refreshes your recollection. Take a look at Exhibit 387 and see if that refreshes your recollection as to who you told me that you went up to the front of the trailer.
I stated I believe.
Hold on, if I have it back.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection as to what you told me, who you went to the front of the trailer with?
Yes, it does.
And in fact, this only happened less than a week ago that we had this conversation, right?
Yes.
And now you're having trouble remembering who it was that you went up to the front of the trailer, right?
I did not give you a definitive answer that date. I stated I believe it was Kenny Porter.
And everything that you tell us from the witness stand today is something that you believe, right? In other words, you're not telling us anything that you don't believe when you're testifying, correct?
I stated I believe it meant that I'm not sure if he was up there with me or not.
But you didn't use the words "I'm not sure," did you?
No, I did not.
You said, "I believe I went with Detective Porter," right?
Correct.
And one of the things that you also did was that you drew a diagram for me about where you went and the things that you saw, right?
I drew a diagram, not to scale, of what I saw, yes.
I didn't ask you if it was to scale, correct? Correct. You did draw a diagram, right?
Yes, I did.
You did go up to the front door, right?
Yes, I did.
And this was before the storm, right?
Correct.
And this would have been around 1:30 in the afternoon, right?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
And as you were walking from an east to a west direction, and you got halfway down the patio, you didn't see any aphids there, did you?
I don't remember.
You don't remember whether or not you saw any aphids?
From halfway down the patio?
Right. No. As you walk, maybe 5 feet east of the front door.
I don't remember exactly where I was when I saw him.
Well, let's do it this way. Take a look at exhibit number 3. Group. Move for the admission of exhibit 388.
No objection.
Submitted, may be published.
Just we could have the monitor back on. As we look at it to get our directions, this would be to the north, to the left, correct?
Correct.
And of course, to the right would be the south, correct?
Correct.
And as you show it here, this would be the front door, right?
Yes.
You were standing right about here when that photograph was taken, the one that you were shown during direct examination, right?
That's correct.
And you remember that there was a patio or a covered area here that led to the door, right?
Yes, there was.
And this is the way that you and Detective Porter and perhaps Sergeant Klein walked to the front door back on October 5th of 2010, right?
Yes.
And that was before the storm, correct?
I can speak for myself that I walked up closer. Yes, correct.
You walked with what? What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
I said I know for sure that I walked up closer. I wasn't sure if Kenny Porter was with me the entire time or not. Or
But as
Ted
you're walking
Klein.
along the way here, you definitely are looking down to see what you may see, correct?
Correct.
As you, for example, you get to about maybe 2, 3, 4 feet this way and by this way, I mean east of the door, you don't see any aphids, right?
No, I did not.
And in fact, you did see Officer Rudy standing there at the front door, right? He was the one that had the scene security, right?
I don't know who the officer was that was at the front door.
There was a male there, right?
Okay.
Okay means you don't know. Is that what you're
I
saying?
don't remember if there was somebody at the door or not.
You know whether or not there was any scene security there at all,
I'm sure there was.
but you just don't remember whether it was a male or female.
No, I don't.
But you do definitely remember that you didn't see any aphids around here, correct?
No, I don't remember seeing any there.
You do remember seeing the taser, correct, which is what you have marked here, right?
Yes, I do.
And then right here to the west, you see, and that would be about 2 or 3 feet west of the door, is where you claim you saw the aphids, right?
This is not to scale. I would not say they were 2 to 3 feet.
Well, how far-
I don't remember how far they were. I didn't write a document stating exactly what I saw on that date. Just out of my recollection, I remember seeing aphids in that area.
As a case agent, though, one of your functions is to put together or bring together all of the information that's provided in a case, right?
That is correct.
And in the beginning, when you took over as case agent, you were the person that was at least forecast or predicted to be writing the report in this case, right?
That is correct.
But you never wrote anything about any aphids, right?
I never wrote a report about this.
I know that you say that. If you didn't write a report in this case, that means you didn't write anything down about this aphids and where you saw them, correct?
No, I did not.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
You didn't write a report in this case.
No, I did not.
Therefore, you didn't write a report, you didn't make any mention of seeing a taser outside,
No, I did not.
didn't make a report about seeing the steno notepad laying outside, correct? Okay, because you didn't make a report.
No, I did not.
And just to be clear, Exhibit 388 in evidence, this is the inside of the trailer, correct?
Yes, it is.
And this is the outside, the porch, cement porch area, correct?
Yes, it is.
And there's no doubt in your mind that you saw aphids outside on the porch area on October 5th, 2010, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, I did see him.
You were asked by counsel if you had expressed any opinions about this case, and you said you had expressed some opinions about to coworkers,
To my coworkers and my spouse.
and you had expressed some opinions to coworkers about Officer Virgilio's accounts, different accounts that he had made, correct?
Objection beyond the scope.
Sustained?
That's all I have. Thank you.
We do have a third question, if council could please approach. 49. Oh, 50, it's 50.
Yes.
50 is my next one, thanks. You only write one big report at the end of the case?
Yes.
What about notes along the way?
Yes, we do keep notes.
Did you make notes during the early stages?
I made notes of the briefing, but not of my walk through the scene because those are usually photographed by criminal, the homicide investigation and the crime scene techs.
First question, lead to any others, Mr. Martinez.
Your notes that you may have kept do not reflect any aphids that you may have seen, correct?
No, I didn't take any notes of the scene.
I understand that you didn't take any notes of the scene, so therefore you have no notes, you don't have any notes that reflect where these aphids may have been, correct?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Can you follow up, Mr. Meritz?
No follow-up, Your Honor.
May Sergeant Agia be excused, Mr. Meritz?
No, Your Honor.
Right? May she step down? Any objection, Mr. Martinez?
No.
Sergeant, because you may be recalled as a witness, I ask that you not talk about your testimony with anybody but the lawyers, and if they need to get you back here, they will, otherwise you can go about your other business. You may step down. Mr. Meritz.
Could we proceed, Your Honor, for a minute?
Scheduling, just strike break.